Angifuni kumbuzana. It's very important in this thing of reminding each other. Indlela yethu njengoba sila iswakude kakhulu. As I was talking about symbols and things of power, energy, and the manipulation of that energy. You can't talk about that without going through a couple of different videos, attacking it from different angles and kind of covering different aspects. See, somewhere back there, it needs to be very clear to anyone with a working mind that somewhere back there, mistakes were made. And this is why we're here. Sesingamaneke siloku sixelele insome ke sikhala ukuthi sahlukunyezwa yilaba nalaba, yeah, but ultimately somewhere back there we dropped the ball. Sabdedela ububusa nesibusiso sokuphila emhlabeni. Sawelela kwabanye. And then we became conquered. That's where we are. Now, say back in the days, back in ancient times, kwaba khona inkosi yaqoka ilanga. The one nithi nina uRama nje. Sekwaba uGod Ra, ngazi kwaba uGod ngoba wenze njani, but leya nkosi leya yaqoka ilanga. In today's terms, ngoba sinaba amakholwa sinafunda ukuthi inkazimulo akashwagcini. No, he was wearing the sun. Mele siyikhulume lento so that ma kufika la isikhathi nibona ilanga liqhamuka from the west, abe mabili amalanga esibhakabhakeni ningathuki. Kunenkosi lapha eyayiqoka ilanga, and he was the first one to do this. And ubukhosi bafika kanjalo ke phakathi kwabantu. Yoma sikhuluma ngobukhosi and its origins. One who wore the sun was the one from whom this whole tradition of kingship and ruling came from. Senzothikeni nake owayekhazimula ayiqoka inkazimulo, yes, of course. No, but kuchaza ukuthini uqoka ilanga? And why is it so vital? You know, you have to look at how things worked out afterwards. You know, when the invaders came, they came to Africa. Banshaya, banpuca, the sun symbols nani na unanosebenzisa, because you had suns all over the place. Nina ma sundial nibuka ngayo isikhathi. Ninesivivane zelanga khombisa ukuma kwelanga. Banikhipha kuyo yonke lento. Bahamba baya South America bashaya abantu babaphuca ama sun symbols nakhona. Bahamba baya North America babashaya baphuca ama sun symbols. Everywhere they went, baniphuca lento yama sun symbols. And it is after that whole process where you became very thoroughly conquered. So one has to ask himself, Uti, Gandhi, what is our relationship with the sun? What's going on there? You say sun is a star, of course, okay, no problem. But why is it that me, in my black self, can go out in the sun the whole day and never have problems from the sun? Kodwa mawungabakhipha laba ukuthi bawuhlala elangeni bazosha. Bazoba nenkinga, kumele bafake sun10. And even if they, you know, so Even if they survive, the sun will cause them to become much more like you in terms of color. So there's something very, very important between us and the sun. Ukhiye lo waleyo symbol and energy uthi, as the black race we are, we need to remember that the first king was the king who wore the sun. Ra. I'm not going to tell you that actually that's not the case. If you understand ilanga or understand ilangabi, then you will find out that actually between those two things, what were they trying to say, or what did they misread translate about that person? Is it really the actual name, or there's a misunderstanding? But ngeke correct ngoba sivele sifuna kona ukuthi bangalibambi lolalimi loleyana ngoba izimfihlo ezilapha zizoba ukhiye kakhulu. Nina ke basekhemu ngithi ilanga mele ni connect nalo. You have to connect with the sun. As much as you need to connect with the earth, you also need to connect with the sun. It's good for your consciousness. I've said before that all you men who have lost your masculinity wake up in the morning and see the first rays of the sun. I wonder how many did that. And now I'm saying that all you black folks who are trying to understand where you're coming from and understand the power that is given to you, confused by amadlos and all these things, that you have to go out in the sun, meditate in the sun, lie in the sun, feel the sun energy come into you. Be connected, become one with the sun. Injalo. This is again another way where we touch on the aspects of energy and healing. Bakhona lapha bake bakhulume ku India uthi bona abadli. They wake up in the morning and sit in the sun. Badli ilanga. I don't know how true that is, but they are very adamant that that's what they do. And I'm saying that black people have a very close relationship with the sun, but we've become estranged because we keep taking these strange ideas and things from these ones. But here is the funny part. Whenever they talk about their saints, these saints of theirs, they always depict them with the sun behind them. In the same fashion where you find Ubuti, in ancient days there was a sun on top of the crown of the king. They are playing on that one. It's in front of you, but you don't recall it, because the only thing you know about blackness is post-invasion. But that's not where we came from. That's not where we came from. Now, go out in the sun. Talk to the sun. Connect to the sun. So that you can tap into an energy that you have forgotten. They can do a lot of trying to be scientific about this whole thing. Hey, melanin activation. It's very simple. Just go out in the sun and become what you are supposed to be. There's nothing that you need to be scientific about here, nothing to analyze. Just go out in the sun and watch how that affects how you see things and how you dream, how you feel. Seeing someone saying, yeah, they feel very energized. Yes, Of course, sun is energy. But now, let me break it down a bit. When you say ilanga, we're not saying just ilanga in terms of lashes and all those things. If you understand the concept of umlilo, the element, it's broken down into 3 aspects. You have the energy aspect of it, which is the heat, and then you have the light aspect of it, and then you have the spiritual aspect of it. These things occur, it's a pyramid of energy and power, basically. Because such that the creator of the universe, when he made things to operate in 3s. You have your physical body, you have your spirit body, and then you have your spirit. Even in the concept of your mind, when you look at the aspect of your mind, you have your brain, you have your thoughts, and then you have your consciousness. Everything works in 3 pairs, or triplets, basically. So when you're looking at the aspect of the sun, that's why I'm saying go out in the sun. You have to start with the physical aspect of it. Feel the heat energy. Understand that. Integrate that into your being. And that's, you see, you might be not understanding. Some of you are struggling with succubi positions, things that are inhabiting your bodies, invading your souls, and you're sitting there looking for this solution. Yes, okay, yes, all these things, but you have the sun. If you could take in the energy of the sun, the heat energy of the sun, and use it to mold your being, it would burn away all these negative energies that exist within. You create an environment in your spirit body that says you become the child of fire, basically. If you're following what I'm saying, then you understand how did that man become a king who wears the sun. If you understand what I'm trying to tell you, I'm not going to explain. And then there's the aspect of the light, what you see about the sun, illuminating, ukukhanyisa kwelanga, ukukhanya. Now, that again, you need to understand that one integrates into your spirit body. Where, when I talk about your spirit body, the soul is an actual temple. So the ancients talk about the ka. That's what they say. By interpreter, but again, it's fine. Lapho mele kungene lokukhanya to eliminate kukhanye within, kungahlali ubumnyama, and all these energies that hide behind the darkness, all these entities that drive in dark spaces of your soul must not have a place in there. Khanyisa ngelanga lihlale lapho kukwena ngaphakathi khanya kwayo. The light of the sun must always be consistently within the soul. Hlala phandle, sit outside in the sun and meditate on these things, channel these energies. And then there's a spiritual aspect of the sun. Now that one you will grasp once you understand these 2 steps. See, the sun has a presence of being, Some say it's a life giver. Well, I guess it makes sense. You look at the trees can only survive because there's the sun. You can't survive without the sun either. So that spirit on the sun is the one that makes an environment for life to thrive. This is why I say, be one with the sun. As much as you are one with the earth, understand these rhythms and patterns, that between the sun and the earth, there's space, there's air. The 3 layers. These rhythms, these symbolic things that are happening around you, you must become conscious of them and operate in them. Stop trying to exist outside of the creation. You are a product of nature. What makes you believe that you are outside of it, unless you are insane and retarded in your mind? So again, Tim, go out in the sun. Become one with the sun. Have a relationship with the sun. It will assist you, especially with these energies that are constantly attacking you and feeding off your energy. And once you become adept at that energy control in the sun, then you can even use it to clear your chakra pathways, which are like the veins. Like you have blood veins, blood vessels, you also have energy veins and blood vessels where the chakras travel in your pathways, different energies. Laba ke base east basalazi lutaba, hence they have these acupuncture things where they will put certain needles in certain places in your body because the energy is going in this way, this one's going in this way. They've kept that knowledge. You have lost it somewhere. You don't even know why you used to do that. You became obsessed with uti mele touch step. Of course, there are aspects of healing where melo sebenza to lower swelling, managing in the merkel, swelling of a ligament there, but there's also the aspect of energy correction, where you certain parts of the body to cause a blockage, you destroy a blockage of energy. So now that Banta Bagiti don't even understand anything about energy, and they don't understand about anything about their chakra and their own self, how they were made, the makeup of the human being, umntu asayazi yonke lo information sesayizwa ngabelungu, and we wonder why we are so retarded and insane. Abantu bafike solo emhlabeni, and the sun has not accepted them for being here. Liyabashisa, alibafuni emhlabeni. And you know, the sun is a life giver. If the sun doesn't want them, what are you trying to do? Nizama ukwenzani ngempela? Yini le nizama ukuyenza? Anyway, let's not get too political here. Let's just stick to the symbolism and energy of the sun. So now, the challenge is on. Each and every single one of you must go out in the sun and become one with the sun. Ligqokeni leli langa nibone ukuthi angeke yini baxhophe. Azoqala bantshela ukuthi hayi, you're too bright today. Nizibabona ukuthi banjani. They're very quick to pick up these things because bias ukuthi banifihlele into emquleni. So go out in the sun. Then we'll go on to the aspect of air, because there's another thing. There's another king who mastered air and wind. Basebetu Amun, the unseen one. It's not that he was unseen, but he could manipulate umoya. Lo vunguzayo. Yeah, no, that's a conversation another day we Tat. The moon energy, there's another aspect of it all, because then we need to talk about somebody else. Low energy Isis. Wonke lamakhosi la. This is why ngihlezi ngithi abantu mabethi ba amakhosi emhlabeni, they need to show us ukuthi baphetheni esandleni. Njengoba nibhizi bakhonza nje. They need to show us. Bonke laba, oMswati, oMsizulu, oBanibani, they must show us. What do they possess in their hand ethi bukhosi? Because you see, e-Alkebulani, la sithi se-Eden, inkosi ayibonakala. There was no guarantee ukuthi inkosi izozalwa namhlanje. There had to be certain signs that have to take place. It comes out, oh, okay, there's a king here now, and this is what he possesses. To inkosi amoya at this time. Where's Kakani Sanskrit like that? It's very interesting, actually, that one, because every time I tried, I remember I think some Uber modern Americans sithenga lama lotion lawana SPF ban kusakunya kulengela bathi hey cancer, skin cancer baba mangithi ngifaka into ne SPF something nje, I would have the most strangest allergic reaction. Ivale pipes to my lungs. Literally, I would have what seemed like an asthmatic attack, but I never had asthma. I still don't have asthma. But anytime getting over those things on my skin, I shut down on my lungs. A serious food. You know, so I tried it twice. That's the problem. Is this SPF things. So I don't even play around with my SPF things. I really don't. But then I guess I was being shown there this thing is choking the life out of you. As a Jäger, sunscreen isn't gone. If you're black, stay away from sunscreen. Go out in the sun. Ushe ube mnyama. Jäger lento le mnyama mayelo ponla. Mayelo ponla. But even that one again, it tells us there's a self-hate complex there where nithanda ukubukeka samlungu like. I don't know why, but that's what you are doing. Phumanela again. Nishe. But again, these things, it's very important to talk about these things because manje sozophumelela ngeni wazi ukuthi uyokwenzani. And the time for this kind of thing, I really would say try to do it in noontime when it's the hottest, at the highest point. But in mabethi bachaza indaba zasekhaya bathi hayi siwele kura ilanga. If it's at the highest point in noon, adunazi kuba bekuthathela lokho, but yeah, it's fine. So midday should be a time where you're spending in the sun. Vele sinisebenzele emakhaya manje angazi ukuthi inzolo uniphika in phuma ke ushaye lunch lapha lale etshanini lapha ubheke phezulu. The same token, when someone wants to be one with the earth, they must go out there and be barefoot. These are all very interesting pieces of information that you've somehow forgot. abantu abasazazi zonke lezi zinto balebele ukushaya igubhu lapha namabhayi. But none of these things require none of that. So hambani and become great once again. We can achieve greatness. Let us become children of the sun people, the earth people, the wind people, the water people, whatever you may call it. Those who have the affinity for the trees, they must become people of the earth. They must spend more time walking bare feet. Those who have the affinity for the water, they must spend a lot of time in the waters. Someday they will have the power to walk on water as us. Depends on their relationship with water. But all of these things are things of dominion, because all of those things are part and parcel of the building blocks of nature. Nature is comprised of these things. Why should you not be dominating them? Why are you not in control of these building blocks of nature? Why are you so obsessed with operating outside of nature? Amitabha. Amitabha. Now, once we can achieve, first of all, who is very serious about these things. Those who are serious, they will have very quick reactions and revelations. And then I will show them, there's another aspect of the sun that is beyond this realm. Now we talk about the true origins of light. The light that controls all the light that ever is and ever will be in all the realms of here and there. The same light that allows me to go into the darkest realms that people have never gone to in the past thousands of years, and go in there, gengaphethe khandlela, just walk in there and become the light and illuminate those spaces. The same kind of light that tells you something was going on in Khemu, because lapha in those pyramids awekho amawindi, but there is no sign ukuthi kwakushiswa amalambu. There's no sign ukuthi kwakubasa umlilo. So ebusuku babebona kanjani? What was illuminating those pyramids in the night time? The secrets of the light. Amitabha. Ngiyazi kodwa kuzoba khona ukuthi nicash ngoba lilinda ubratches ukuthi abuye nokhazimule engabe nibhizi la nigqokila